All right, YouTube, we got Get Out, Kill Count, okay? This is probably the third kill count I've done, so Get Out, Kill Count, come on.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies.
Perfect.
I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Get Out, released in 2017 by writer-director Jordan Peele. And
amazing movie. I'm like, French kiss. No. Chef kiss. Mwah. What are you talking about?
Directorial debut. I'm doing this movie back-to-back with Night of the Living Dead because Peele has cited Romero's seminal work as a major influence on Get Out. Both films feature a black man, more or less isolated inside a house full of white people, and while that may be where the similarities end on the surface, both movies ended up being huge in what they said about race. Now, while Romero has said he didn't intentionally create Night of the Living Dead as a form of racial commentary, Jordan Peele definitely did with Get Out.
For sure.
This movie's got a whole lot of things to say about systemic racism, with Peele specifically saying it's about the lack of acknowledgement that racism exists. But it's also a really well-crafted movie in general.
You know how many white bitches I would have fucked in this joint? There are so many bad, just
nice
white
twists,
bitches,
and while we have to wait until the end to see them, some pretty great kills. Now, I'm not 100% qualified to discuss all the sociological aspects of this film, but I've pretty much got a PhD in talking about kills, so let's get to them.
Hey, and if you guys have not already seen, we are one away from that follower goal. Follow the fuck up. One away. We came from a long way, from 0 almost to 20. Make sure y'all follow up. Come on.
The movie begins with a cold open where a black guy is walking down the street in a neighborhood he's not entirely comfortable in.
Confusing as suburb.
Doesn't help when a car driving by pulls a Yui and starts following him. The guy tries to turn around and cross the street, but he's accosted by someone in a knight's helm who puts him in a headlock and knocks him out. He drags him away, puts him in the trunk of his car.
For the fact that you got caught lacking like that, black nigga, I'm ripping your black card. Give me that fucking black card, nigga. You don't let... Man, stop playing.
Away as the credits start. There are a couple of cool songs over them, including Childish Gambino's Redbone. And that's just one more reason you should probably go watch this movie for real instead of just kill counting it up like I know so many of you do. After the credits, we meet our hero Chris Washington, a photographer getting ready for his first visit to the home of his girlfriend, Rose Armitage. They're a super good-looking couple and totes in love. He might even love her more than his adorable puppy Sid. But something is bothering him.
Do they know I'm black?
Yep.
Rose saes no, but that doesn't matter because her parents are nice, non-racist, liberal folk.
My dad would have voted for
But how would you know that
the
for
third
real?
time.
How would you know that for real? You've never brought in a black nigga home, but no, they're chill, they're cool. Fuck
Chris
outta
is still
here,
nervous
nigga.
enough to want to smoke, even though Rose ain't having it since she's trying to get him to quit. Chris avoids that becoming an argument by calling up his buddy Rod, who works at TSA.
Oh my God, this is the man. Rod is the
watching
that's
Sid
that
over the
nigga,
weekend.
bro.
Rod's
I swear to
skeptical of
God,
Chris's weekend plans.
You never take my advice.
real nigga.
Like, don't go to a white girl parent's house.
But Chris doesn't think anything of it. They end up hitting a deer that jumps in front of the car, and while they're sorting it all out with the cop, things get a little uncomfortable.
Sir, can I see your license, please?
Wait, why?
Yeah, I have state ID.
Rose gets up in arms about the way the cop is treating Chris, whereas Chris reacts like this is everyday shit for him, because, you know, it probably is. Doesn't stop him from appreciating it, though.
That was hot.
I'm not gonna let anyone fuck with my man.
Oh, they're so cute, guys. I love them. They arrive at the Armitage estate, where Father Dean and Mother Missy give them a warm welcome. Dean even says he's happy they hit a deer.
I say one down, a couple 100,000 to go. I see a dead deer on the side of the road.
Bro, oh my, I've probably seen at least 5 dead deers, bro. Just this week, bro. That's fucking insane. In real life, they don't even, where can you even put a dead deer? For real, I just see them on the fucking side of the road. Where the fuck do they go?
Myself, that's a start.
Man, he really doesn't like deer. I wonder if that's code for something. It's probably nothing. Dean seems to be just a goofy dad who's excited to give Chris a tour of the house, including a picture of his dad who just narrowly lost against Jesse Owens to qualify for the Olympics. And in case you didn't know, Jesse Owens was a black sprinter who kicked ass at the 1936 Olympics in Berlin and, quote, single-handedly crushed Hitler's myth of Aryan supremacy. You can already see there's going to be a lot of symbolism in this movie. During the tour, Chris also meets the Armitage's house staff, including Georgina the cook.
Oh my gosh, bro. These two scared the fuck out of me the whole movie, bro. I was like, nigga, these niggas are weird.
And Walter, the groundskeeper. Dean admits that it looks bad, but that they hired them to help Dean's ailing parents, and they just kept them on after his parents passed. Chris's mom has also passed away, as he reveals during tea time, wherein it also comes out that Missy is a therapist who could use hypnosis to help Chris kick his smoking habit. How about it, Chris? Want these rich white strangers fucking around inside your brain?
I'm good, actually.
Good call, dude. Rose's brother Jeremy arrives, and that night they all sit down for a family dinner. Embarrassing stories are shared and laughs are had, but some things seem a little off, and I don't just mean Jeremy's hair hygiene. I'm talking about shit like Georgina's behavior. Earlier, she wigged out while pouring some drinks, and now it seems to be just kind of catatonic in the kitchen. And Jeremy's all kinds of creepy, asking Chris real intently if he's ever done MMA.
With your frame and your genetic makeup, if you really pushed your body, you'd be
fucking beast.
He even tries to drunkenly engage in some jujitsu, but the rest of the family shuts it down. At least Rose seems to be aware of how weird her family's acting, as she complains in her underwear to Chris that night and compares her family to the cop they
bad
faced
white
earlier. Chris has a moment of "I told you so," but they assure each other of their love and go to bed. Chris has a hard time sleeping that night, so he heads out back for a cigarette, and it's the perfect time for the movie to dial up its weirdness. Walter cranks it up a few notches.
Yo, my nigga. Bro, when I saw this fucking scene, bro, I was so scared. Like, my nigga, what are you running at me?
Full speed like he's groundskeeper Flash,
Oh
and Georgina throws it to 11 by doing glamour poses in the reflection of the window. To cap off Chris's evening of what the fuckery, on his way back to bed, he gets confronted by Missy, who's chilling in this chair ready to grill him on.
She getting fucked too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking her ass. She getting fucked, I'm telling you.
In front of my daughter.
The conversation then moves into Chris's mother's death, and Chris realizes that Missy may be starting her hypnosis.
Wait, are we?
Where were you when she died?
He doesn't want to go along with it, but Missy keeps stirring her spoon and he seems unable to resist. Apparently, his mom died on her way home from work while he was a kid watching TV, and he feels guilty because he never called anyone to try to help her. To be fair though, that would have been like prime Nicktoon era television, so don't feel too bad, Chris. This is just one of many scenes that exemplify the outstanding talent of Daniel Kaluuya, who, by the way, is
amazing
British as fuck
actor. Oh
and is
my
doing
gosh, yes, bro. I don't like how these British niggas are acting more better than fucking these American niggas. That's pissing me off. Come on,
impeccable
y'all.
American accent throughout this entire movie. He's eventually paralyzed by her hypnosis, and then she sends him away.
Now, sink
Oh
into
my
the floor.
God.
Sink.
And sink he does, falling into an endless void in a very memorable effect that makes him seem like he's floating in a mixture of deep sea and deep
Fire.
space. Physically, he's still in his chair, frozen, and Missy leans into his face and tells him where he is.
Now you're in the sunken place.
That is a place I do not want to be.
Bro,
She shuts
oh
his
my
eyes.
gosh, bro. There were so many memes just off this movie, bro. This movie is real life a generational movie, I'm telling you.
Then he wakes up in bed the next morning, covered in
Crazy.
sweat and pretty friggin' confused. Later that day, he tries to make small talk with Walter, who seems more than a little off in his mannerisms, and especially the way he talks about Rose.
One of a kind, top of the line, a real doggone keeper.
He also confirms that Chris was indeed sitting with Missy in a session. Chris tells Rose about it and says that her hypnosis did seem to work and that the thought of cigarettes makes him want to throw up now. And now it's time to get a party started. The Armitages are having their annual collection of old white people over, some kind of tradition that was started by Dean's parents. All of them are super awkward around Chris, asking him about his golf form, feeling all up on his muscles, and telling him about how cool it is that he's black.
Black is in fashion.
Chris understandably steps away and is relieved when he finally
in
spots
fashion.
another black guy at the party, a guy named Logan. But this dude's pretty weird too.
That's the
and it's
nigga.
not just
That's the nigga we saw getting snatched right the fuck up.
Thurston
I'm
Howell.
happy they snatched your ass up, cause your black senses should have kicked in, nigga. The
Full
fuck.
attire. He's also shacking up with this lady many years his senior and kind of rats on Chris to her.
Chris was just telling me how he felt much more comfortable with my being here.
Then he goes over and models for the other partygoers. Beard guy approves. Seems like Chris is doomed to be entirely uncomfortable here until he runs into Jim Hudson, a blind art dealer who is familiar with Chris's work and tells him it's very impressive. Jim also tried to be a photographer, but then he lost his eyesight. Both of them reflect upon how that shit ain't fair. When Chris goes inside to take a breather from the whole situation, this happens. Yeah, just a little creepy, huh? Also creepy is that he keeps finding his phone unplugged and he thinks it might be Georgina. She comes in later to apologize to him and he tries to be real with her,
There's too many white people. I get nervous, you know.
but it kinda seems to break her.
Right.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, great actors, bro. Phenomenal actors, bro. Jordan Peele for your first movie. Oh my gosh, this was a This was a hit.
She assures him the Armitages are good to them and treat them like family. Chris checks in with Rod and tells him about all the weird shit going on.
My
and
nigga
Rod
Rod.
gives us the comic relief we
My
expect
nigga
from
Rod. Oh
Georgina.
god.
I don't know if
Oh
you know
god.
this. White people love making people sex slaves and shit.
Rod's serious though. He doesn't trust the hypnosis that Chris tells him about and really thinks it's a sex slavering going on. Downstairs, more of the partygoers grill Chris about his experience as a black man living in America, and when he tries to pull Logan over to field the question, Logan starts going on about how great it is. Chris tries to snap a picture of Logan to show to Rod later, but the flash goes off and this triggers something in Logan, whose nose starts bleeding as he reminds Chris the name of the movie that they're in.
Yep.
Get out.
Get out.
Missy and Dean as he
This
reminds
nigga
Chris
not
the name of
slick.
the movie that they're in.
Get out.
You're not slick. Nigga said, get out.
Missy
Get
and
out.
Dean
Get
try
out.
to explain it all away as a seizure, and Logan apologizes for his actions and leaves. Chris and Rose go for a walk where he tells her it
Nigga,
wasn't.
that's strike 3, nigga. That strike one is the nigga running towards me, nigga. That black nigga running towards me, that's strike one. Strike two is Georgina weird ass, nigga. Strike three is get out. I'm out. As soon as he said I'm
that he
out.
feels like he knew Logan.
No, I don't know Logan. I knew the guy that.
It's like, where are the black sensors? Like, come on. God damn.
They argue for a little bit until he opens up more about his mom and reveals that a phone call would have saved her life since she had lain dying for hours after her accident. Rose agrees to leave with him and they embrace, reaffirming their love once more. While this is happening, the old folks back at the Armitage estate are having a sort of silent auction with Chris's portrait on display. We're not entirely sure what's going on here, but by the end of it, it looks like Jim Hudson has won out at an impressive price. It's a really interesting scene that manages to feel super sinister, even when you don't quite know the import of it right away. Chris and Rose get back to the house, where everyone stares them down with joyless smiles, and Jeremy plays the ukulele like he's auditioning for Deliverance. Chris sends Rod the picture he took of Logan, and Rod tells him it's a dude named Andre that they know and have met before. He was the guy in the cold open of the movie, actually, and he's been missing for 6 months now. Rod falls back on his theory.
Sex slave! Oh, shit!
But Chris's phone dies before they can talk further. Chris relays to Rose how urgently they need to leave, and then he notices a little cubby door open. He peeks inside and finds a box of pictures.
Fuck Rose, bro, because she played that nigga like a fucking fiddle, bro. She played everybody like a fiddle, I'm telling you.
Pictures of Rose with a bunch of different black guys, even though she told him he was the first black boyfriend she ever had. Even weirder is when he finds pictures of her with Andre and then with Walter and Georgina. What the fuck is going on here, Chris? Chris goes to leave, but the family isn't interested in letting him go, and Rose just can't seem to find her keys. The weirdness breaks out into...
No, you should have played that scene, nigga. That was the... Nigga, she went, bro, from scared to I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, it was literally in a snap. Like, no,
the open now, with Dean talking about some heavy cryptic shit.
We are the gods, trapped in cocoons.
Jeremy even takes a swipe at Chris, and then Rose reveals that she has the keys.
Look
Chris
at that
can't have
shit.
them. Nah. He finally goes to make a run for it, but the hypnosis strikes, paralyzing Chris and knocking him to the ground. Falling into the sunken place, he watches as Dean and Jeremy carry him away. Rose feebly tells him that he was one of her favorites.
Bitch, man. Fuck. Fuck you
You're
mean?
always saying be the change. So come on, man. Be the change. Let's do this.
Now we're gonna hang with Rod for a bit while he tries to call Chris and figure out what the hell's going on. He researches Andre online, revealing that he's the one guy in the world who uses Bing, then takes his findings to the police.
How can I help you? Rod Williams from a TSA.
He shows Andre's picture to Detective Latoya and reveals his ultimate theory about brainwashing and sex slavery.
Oh, Lord. Rod Williams. TSA.
Yeah, needless to say, she and the two cops she pulls in to hear him out don't really believe him. Meanwhile, Chris wakes up in a sort of game room, bound to a chair and facing an old school television. It starts playing a tape of Dean's dad, Roman Armitage, who looks like a spokesman for high-fiber diets and who explains to the viewer that they've been chosen due to their genetic gifts. He says the coagula procedure will combine those physical traits with the determination and intelligence of white people to create a perfect being. Then a teacup appears on screen and sends Chris back to sleep. He wakes up again to find Jim Hudson on the TV, able to interact with him via some sort of intercom. Hudson tells him he's supposed to prepare him mentally for the procedure they're about to undergo, which involves pretty much a brain transfer, although a sliver of Chris will remain along with his brainstem.
You'll be able to see and hear what your body is doing, but your existence will be as a passenger.
That's right.
It's crazy, bro.
It's fucking terrifying, right?
Like,
Chris asks why it's with black people, and Jim mentions how several people want the perceived physical superiority of their race, but that Jim's not like that. You know, some of his best friends are black. He just wants Chris's eyes. He signs off, and Chris plays with some of the chair stuffing that he's torn out. Eventually, the teacup comes back on screen and knocks him out. Dean gets going with the procedure, with Nurse Jeremy assisting him. He cuts open Jim Hudson's head, and while the heart monitor keeps beeping steadily along, I'm gonna add Jim to the kill count right now. Really? Spoiler alert, he never comes back from this situation. Weird that our first kill isn't until nearly an hour and a half into the movie, but this film's about a lot more than just kills. While Dean's handling that brain meat, Jeremy goes to get Chris's unconscious body. With Jeremy's back turned, Chris takes a bocce ball and nails Jeremy in the head with it, hitting him once more while he's on the ground for good measure. We see that he saved himself from
I'm quadruple tapping, nigga. You're dead. Bro. What these niggas don't understand, bro, they like leaving him alive, you know, knocking him out. No. Kill these niggas,
by
bro.
Literally picking that cotton out of the chair and stuffing it into his ear.
What, nigga?
Saved himself from hypnosis by literally picking that cotton.
Are you kidding me? You could have really said anything else. You really...
on the ground for good measure. We see that he saved himself from hypnosis by literally picking that cotton out of the chair and stuffing it into his ear.
How fucking dare you, son of a bitch.
That's some great reclamation, Chris. Dean
Shut
comes
the
out of the
fuck
operating room to see where Jeremy is, and Chris surprises him by impaling him with the antlers of a stuffed deer head for the second kill of the movie. Even more fun symbolic stuff here, since buck is a term historically used against black men in post-Reconstruction America. On his way out, Chris runs into Missy, who reaches for her teacup but doesn't make it before Chris smashes it to pieces. They have a short standoff.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm beating the shit out of her. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, what? I'm beating the
She takes the
dog
letter
shit out of
opener
her.
and tries to stab him with it, but he takes it through the ham like a champ and
Right.
turns it back around on her,
Right.
stabbing her in the head or maybe
my
even the eye there, just off screen. Hey, Missy, stop stabbing yourself. Almost out the front door, Chris is attacked by Jeremy, who's come back into consciousness.
See, I
and
told you, always have to kill these niggas.
eager to finally
Tiny.
get his jujitsu match on with Chris. He almost puts Chris to sleep with a headlock, but Chris stabs him in the leg with that letter opener and then kicks him down, ultimately killing him with a series of super violent, super squishy kicks to the fucking head. Get out of here, Jeremy, you nasty little racist weasel. Next time, try dry shampoo. Rose hasn't heard all this because she's been too busy listening to white people music and cruising the internet for her next potential victim, all while eating Fruit Loops.
Damn, those are football players. What the fuck?
Busy listening to white
These
people
big
music
ass
and cruising the
niggas.
internet.
This nigga, is that LeBron?
For her next potential victim, all while eating Fruit Loops in an overtly symbolic way. Notice how she separates the white milk from the colored cereal? Outside,
Wow.
Chris takes Jeremy's car, which is shown to be the one from the cold open that drove away with Andre in the trunk, but before he can get away, he hits Georgina. Feeling remorse from his mother's death and Georgina's earlier breakdown, he saves her and takes her in the car with him. But when she comes to,
I'm running her ass over
him
too.
and causes him to crash the car. This accident kills Georgina, who is revealed to be housing the brain and soul or whatever of Dean's mother, Marion Armitage. Not anymore though, because now they both dead. Rose has finally gotten savvy to the situation and hunts Chris down with a rifle. She sicks Walter on him, who is housing the brain and soul
Oh my
or whatever
God.
of Dean's dad Roman, but Chris pulls his camera flash trick again, triggering an awakening in whoever's sunken inside Walter. He asks Rose for the gun to finish the job himself, but shoots her in the belly instead. He then turns the gun on himself, killing the Roman-Walter combo for the 6th kill of the movie. Rose is still alive and she tries to grab the gun, but Chris beats her to it and slides it away from her. He starts to strangle her, but a cop car shows up, and holy shit, guys, this could be the darkest fucking
Amazing,
ending I've ever
bro.
seen. Like, we
Literally
just
amazing
watched Night of the
ending.
Living Dead. We saw that racist cop in the beginning, and we know the historical context surrounding this moment as Chris puts his hands up in a gesture that says, "Don't shoot." I was all ready to have my heart broken, but out of the cop car steps Rod
A
Williams.
real nigga, a real nigga. That's who the fuck stepped out. Is a real nigga, bro.
Chris
Come
gets in the
on.
car, and Rod has his own moment of "I told you so" before Chris asks him how the hell he figured everything out.
I'm T.S. Motherfucking
Fucking A, yep.
We handle shit. That's what we do.
Oh my God.
Consider this situation. Fucking handle.
Yes, sir.
The situation fucking handled.
Bro, they need a number 2, bro. They need to get out 2,
off,
bro.
leaving Rose to die in the middle of the road for our 7th and final kill of the movie. Turns out the original ending did actually have Chris arrested for strangling Rose to death, but Jordan Peele felt like there was just too much real shit going
Right,
on,
you
and that his
wildin'.
protagonist needed a win.
You
Also,
need to,
for everyone
bro.
who kept commenting that this movie wouldn't have enough kills, it had just as many as the first Scream. Don't believe me? Let's go with the numbers.
See, I don't, bro. I'm not even about to say shit. Hurry up. Give me to the numbers. Come on.
It gets a little tricky, what with the sunken place and all, but I'm gonna say 7 people died and Get Out. My apologies to whoever was chilling inside Grandma and Grandpa Armitage.
Oh God.
Of those 7 victims,
Oh,
4
God.
were male and 3 were female, a nearly even split between genders. At a runtime of 104 minutes, that comes out to a kill on average almost every 15 minutes. Even though in actuality, there weren't any kills until the last 20 minutes of the film.
Right.
I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest death to Dean. I can't say I've ever seen anyone killed with a mounted deer head.
Yeah, that's actually, yes,
points
that's
for
well
originality.
deserved.
Add in the
Yes.
symbolism and
Well
the blood,
deserved.
and it's clearly the standout kill.
Well deserved.
All machete for lamest death will go to Georgina, who caused herself to get killed in an accident.
You're
And that's
right.
it. Get Out was released earlier this year and set a few box office records for
Okay, that shit was fire. That shit was fire.